guys, welcome back to our YouTube channel. Today we are concluding our 3-part series of our story, how we met and how God brought us together. So during this video, what we will be discussing is how I proposed to Zaria. So let's hop right into it. So when I came to a point to where I said to myself, I'm going to marry Zaria, I just have to determine, okay, when I was gonna do it and where I was gonna do it. Like, I like doing a lot of sweet stuff, so I was like, okay, let me think of something sweet. But I was in a tough position because there's so many emotions everywhere. So I came up with something that I thought, okay, this could be decent, you know what I'm saying? In my head, I thought it would be decent. I honestly thought it would be decent. I was like, okay, I'm a woo-woo, okay. So I'm gonna explain how I did it, and then we're gonna give you the whole backstory behind why it went down the way it did. So I was like, hey, let's go get some ice cream. So me and her went to get some ice cream from Dairy Queen. We got a fudge brownie sundae, exactly. And I took her to this nice park. I took her to the garden area, so it's about a bunch of roses everywhere, flowers everywhere. And I sat her down and we started talking about everything. And I was like, well, I was like, you remember sophomore year? And she was like, yeah, why? She was all quiet. And I was like, yeah, so like during the summer, because during that time, she was at the dorm. She went to summer school and I went back home, back to my hometown. So I was like, yeah, during that time, I was like, I slipped up or whatever. Obviously, I have to expand, but she kind of already knew. I was like, yeah, I cheated or whatever. And she was just like super quiet. She was looking like, and she was like, I kind of already knew. And I was like, oh, well, I said, yeah, the reason I'm telling you is because I'm trying to move past that. And I'm trying to show you that I'm admitting that I messed up, but I want to spend the rest of my life with you. I want a future with you. So I want to marry you. So, yeah. So that's how that happened. But the reason why I thought it would be good, I don't know what I was thinking, right? But look, I thought it would be good because it's like, oh, I slipped up. I don't know. I was like, I got to get this off my chest. But yeah, that's how I did it. It's like people don't even know. Like, it's funny because people be asking me like, oh, because they know sometimes I like to be romantic. I like to do stuff, but you know what I'm saying. But a lot of people saying, I know you did it this way, I did it that way, and I just be like, right, y'all have no idea. Nobody even knows how it even went down. But that's how it happened. And she was just sitting there in shock. I don't know. How'd you feel?
Well, I remember when we was sitting there and you said, I'm just listening. I'm like, I'm thinking about to say something nice or whatever, because we just sitting there talking. And then when he told about something, the reason why I'm telling you this, like, I didn't hear nothing. All I heard was literally, like, I was like, this is probably like the worst timing ever. Like, ever. I was like, okay. I didn't know how to feel because I'm like, okay, I'm being told that you cheated on me, but now you're telling me that you wanted to let me know that you cheated on me because you want to marry me. So I'm like 1 + 1 divided by 2 times 3. Like, I'm doing math in my head. Like, this don't even make sense. Like, it's not like everybody, when you think of being proposed to, you're like, it's gonna be nice. Like, he's telling you you're wonderful, you're beautiful, like stuff like that. So I was just like, I don't know. So I remember my response. He was like, so how you feel? And I was like, well, I want to get married, but I don't know. Like, I don't know how to feel. I was just quiet. Like, I didn't know what to say. I was just literally, I wasn't thinking of nothing. Like, I was just like, what? Like, I had some, like, I thought, but I didn't know, because I had like his password to like his Snapchat and stuff. That's how I would like find out he was talking to other females, but I didn't know he did the dude. So I was like, okay.
Yeah, so the backstory behind how that stuff even happened. So I'm just explaining to you guys. So to start it off, when me and Zari were talking about marriage, we said that we were in a tight spot because at the end of the day, we were two broken people who tried to come together as a unit. And we weren't even whole ourselves individually. So we came together broken. So previously, you know, when me and Zaria first met, I was messing with other people and we didn't date till January. But that was like, it happened so subtly as far as us dating because she was about to cut me off. So I was like, okay, it's either I keep messing around or I date her. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna date her. But keep in mind, like that whole time I've been doing me. So it's like I was training myself to not be committed to one person. You know what I'm saying? So it's hard to be doing you to all of a sudden just commit to one person. You know, because that's a lot of soul ties. That's a lot of different things that you had to manage. So I put myself in a bad position when I went back home to somebody old I used to mess with and that I had a soul tie with. And I remember it like it was yesterday. I remember after it happened when I was driving back home, I remember like hearing like the devil's voice and he was like, it was like a laugh and it was like, you're gonna remember this. Like basically this is gonna come up in the future because for me, you know, I have a relationship with God, so I was really convicted and I knew, you know, I was with Zari at the time and I knew it was on like I knew one day it was gonna be brought up because I just couldn't. Like you could keep it for only so long. So it was eating me up like until I've told her. So, you know, we can be happy and all that, but in the back of my head, I'm like, I know I gotta tell her. I can't get this. I gotta get this off of my chest. So I repented to God about it and everything. But I just had to come to a point to where I had to tell her because I couldn't marry her knowing that in the back of my head. So I was like, I gotta suck it up. That's probably one of the biggest things I've ever gotten off my chest. Probably one of the most hardest things. But yeah, I put myself in a bad position and I didn't have boundaries. So it's definitely important to have boundaries. And on top of that, I think even throughout our whole relationship, I wouldn't say we was like fully committed. Even when we were dating, I don't feel like it was like a full commitment. God definitely showed us different things to each other, about each other. So it's like we'll have a dream or we'll just have a knowing of something, of the other person doing something, whether it be somebody texting somebody or being somewhere where they're not supposed to be. You know, and that's happened multiple times. Saying, for example, say she was texting somebody she didn't supposed to be texting, and I had a dream about it, and I tell her, and it'll be true. Like it's crazy, like just stuff like that. That's just a small story, but yeah, God would show us stuff about each other, and it was kind of crazy. I was like, is He showing us this to help us stay on track, to help us, you know, not make mistakes? Because it was a lot. There was a lot of different things, and it got to the point to where it's like I feel like if I did something, she would know without me even saying anything. So I feel like she kind of already knew, but it's different when you actually tell them that you actually did it. But she probably already had the feeling, you know, because before that we had like a little issue. I guess when we talking to females, like we were dating, but I guess I didn't delete everybody. So it just put me in the spot to where I was like set up to fail pretty much, you know. Like the thing about temptations is that sometimes you have to remove yourself from certain things to really prevent yourself from, you know, committing temptations or committing sin. Because like if you know you weak in a certain area, then you got to remove yourself. Like say for example you have a problem with alcohol or smoking. Like remove yourself from those environments so you won't slip up and fail. But I was pretty confident in proposing just because I was changing a lot, you know. I grew a lot during that time and I got really close to God, going to church more, reading more, praying more. I even got a mentor. Like I was growing and she knew that. So I was like, okay, clearly she could see, even though I slipped up back then, that now like I'm not the same person at all. I've cut off a lot of ties, you know. I made a lot of different boundaries. So she could see that I've clearly changed. So I was like, okay, I think that contributed to my thinking of me proposing the way I did, because I had to do it. You know, I was going to propose, but it was just, you know, do I tell her while I propose before? I don't know. But at the end of the day, look, it worked out. But yeah, it was rough. So yeah, that happened. Then the following day, we had our daughter.
The next day.
Right.
Proposal.
Next day after I proposed, we had our daughter. And the crazy part about that was, I was out there visiting. I was with her for a little bit, and then I was going back to my hometown to spend time with my mom for like 2 weeks. But like, what happened?
We were waiting on my dad to get back home so that I can take you to the train, and then my water broke, and like we had no clue like this was coming because it was like 20 days before the expected arrival day for her to come. So we were like, it was just crazy because it seemed like after he proposed, it's like everything started to just like to fall in line. I don't know. That's kind of what I got out of it. Like afterwards, like we were like starting to do things right because we were like, okay, we're gonna change things, and okay, now we're gonna get married. Next day, literally, Zaya came. We're like, it was just like so much. Like that's when things began to like pick up, and like ever since then, I don't think things have like kind of slowed down. Like everything just continues to get into alignment.
Yeah, besides that, I'll say the biggest thing like people say is just the fact that I was about to leave like 2 hours later, the same day, and if her water broke, I wouldn't have been up. I mean, if her water broke when I left, I wouldn't have been there to see the delivery most likely, because I would have been on the train.
And I would have been in the car by myself driving.
Yeah, and she would have been home back by herself because I was the only one home with her. So it was a lot of, it was crazy, but God worked it out.
Yeah.
He blessed me to be able to see it. And the crazy part is I recorded her water breaking because I'm funny, so I'll be recording everything. So I seen her, she was like, she hit the floor, holding her stomach.
What was that? And I'm asking him, what was it?
And I'm sending a recording on the Snapchat like, I'm like,
what was that? It's like, what was what?
Is she tweaking? Or I sent it to the group chat, my friends, they're like, bro. Next thing you know, I'm recording the ambulance. Hey, all up in the house. Yeah, so it was crazy. But we ended up getting married at the end of the month. So we had our baby on the 8th, and then we got married on the 28th of the same month.
29th.
I mean, the only reason I get it confused is because her due date was the 28th, right?
Yes.
Yeah, that's why. Okay. So that's why, like, I always think the 28th because her due date was the 28th.
I never noticed
the
that.
28th, yeah. So that's why.
Her due date was the 28th,
that's why I always get them confused. But we got married on the 29th. So yeah. But how was you? But our first year of marriage was definitely interesting. How would you say it went?
I think it went. It was our marriage situation for our first year was weird. Well, not weird, but complicated because we didn't live with each other. Like fully live with each other.
I mean, yeah, most of the time, no. Yeah, true. Because I was still in the dorms.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did forget about that.
Yeah.
I was in the dorms and she was still back at home because we were still in college at that time. So it definitely was weird. And the thing about it is like everybody didn't even know like that. Like we weren't super public. Like if you seen the ring, it's like, oh yeah, I'm married. But it wasn't like, oh, you know what I'm saying? We just got married.
Yeah.
So
it would be a separate video on like how we made it through college.
Yeah, but it was definitely different. Yeah. But I say the first year of our marriage was definitely our roughest year. I would say that was more like a deliverance year. And I'm happy we got married, but I see why it's important to really be ready to get married before you get married. Yeah. And that's why we tell people, like, if you have a baby, you know, don't just get married because you got a baby. Don't just get married just to get married. Like, there's a readiness to marriage. There's steps to take to get married.
Yeah, because if we didn't take those steps after we got married, then it wouldn't have lasted.
Yeah, so a lot of people, you know, told us to get married. Some people, you know, it was a lot of going back and forth. But the thing people don't realize, they say we got married now. Oh, it worked out. Look at you guys. But they don't realize like the process we went through the first year. Like it was a lot. Like we argued a lot. And I know people say that's common, but it was a lot of deep wounds. Yeah. And there was a lot of healing. It was a lot of deliverance that God had to do with us during the first year. Like it was a lot of tough stuff that we went through. And the thing about it is it could have been prevented if we had waited, you know, just a little bit. You know, if we like, you know, individually developed ourselves first and then got married, like it would have went smoother. And that's what I recommend to most people, all people, to really, become whole. Yeah, become whole first with God. Make sure you're whole, because if you're not whole, you're bringing that baggage. You're bringing whatever is broken into the union, because now two flesh become one. So when you become married, you become one under God.
Yeah.
So we was one, but it was just too much going on, too much broken pieces.
But I think one reason why it worked out so well is because we were kind of like at the same place of knowing that we're both growing. Like, we already saw the change. Like, it was a drastic change. And so the fact that we both saw that, and we were like, okay, we were working on like what steps we need to take to continue to grow. We know we weren't okay. Like, the first step was knowing that we weren't okay. We both knew we weren't okay. If we was to deny that, then it would just, everything would have just like continued to be a lie. I just think that it was important that we continue to develop our relationship with God, because if we would have just got married and not would have taken the next steps after the marriage, because you can get married and just think it's like you're okay because now you're married. When you get married, that doesn't mean that all your problems that you had before, like fornicating, for example, that doesn't mean it just goes away. Like, you have to deal with that from the root and on up. So I think that's a very important thing to.
Yeah, because the root of fornication is lust. So even though you're married, and it's not technically a sin anymore because you're married, you can still bring lust to a marriage. You can still be having sex out of lust. So it's a lot of things like we had to learn, and a lot of things we had to break. And I say in the beginning, I was it just showed us so much about marriage, and I think I'm grateful that we made it through, and I know it was only by the grace of God, because we were chasing after Him and putting Him first, and really letting Him change us inside out. And I think He gave us like a grace to really, and the wisdom to share with other people, because a lot of people, they have so many different questions about marriage. They're lost about marriage. They don't know how to approach marriage or how to even operate a marriage. But our first year was really a year that exposed us to a lot of different things and gave us a lot of wisdom.
And counseling. I know it was important that we were continuing to, because we took a marriage class. Yeah, when we started marriage class our first year? Yeah, so that was another thing that really helped, because we had to learn how to communicate.
Yeah, that was the biggest thing, communication.
Yeah.
So we really just worked on all of those things, and it played out and it worked out for our good. And for anybody watching this video who is interested in marriage, hopefully you plan on getting married one day, if that's a part of what you want to do. We just recommend that you just really focus on developing yourself with God first and foremost. Don't worry about what everybody say. If you have a baby with somebody, don't just get married with them because people say, oh, it'll be better. We definitely want a biblical household family, the husband, the wife, and the children. We want that, but you want to approach it the right way. Because at the end of the day, what I realize is that people could tell us to get married. At the end of the day, they could say, y'all could do this, y'all could do that, but they're not the ones operating the marriage. We gotta operate the marriage. We gotta go through all that stuff. So they don't see all the backstory. And another thing I want to say is, people often say get married, you'll be fine, because they be like, well, you can make it through all the stress and all the trials and all that stuff, but they don't realize a lot of that stuff could be prevented with wisdom. It's just like, it's bad tradition. Like, even though it may be traditional, don't mean it's the right thing to do. So it's like, it was kind of like, but I'm glad we went through it, because now we know so much that we're gonna share with people with knowing where we came from. So yeah, pretty much wraps it up. That wraps up our story on how we met and how God brought us together. But we will be coming out with a lot of different videos, because there's so many different things that we can expand on, elaborate on, that we talked about. But obviously, we don't want to come out with a 10-hour documentary. Yeah. So, but it's a lot of different things that we're definitely going to drop. And I think one of them will be with Zaria and how she made it this far with God, knowing that I cheated on her. And I know a lot of people will want to know that, because it was hard. Like, the way it looked now, it wasn't like that at first. It was really hard. Had a lot of trust issues and vice versa. So there's a lot of different things going on, but we are definitely proof that God can make a way. We hope you guys liked the video. Do us a favor and comment below. Like,
yes, feedback.
Feedback. What you want us to elaborate on. Whether you message us, comment below, email us. Say, okay, we want you guys to come out and talk more about this. We'll do it. So subscribe, like, comment, share, and
see you in the next video.